and welcome back to my channel. I am here with my August plan with me. So let's dive right in. I'm going to do a quick flip through of July for you guys. So let's find the beginning of July. Whoops, so back here. So July was my watercolor month, which I have to say I had a lot of fun with it. I will not be doing it for August though, because it just takes a little bit too much time and I have a lot of stuff that I'm going to need to get done, but it was fun for this month to do this. So let's take a peek. So I am currently filming this on the 17th because I'm going to try my best to get this video up for you guys on the 22nd. So I still got a little bit of time left in July, but let's see. So my monthly is pretty empty just because it's the summer, so I don't have as much going on. August as well, I don't have as much going on either. I basically just have that I'm coming back from my trip and that I have my back to school for like teachers is at the end of next month. I have my goals, which I am definitely working on. So for example, let's see, I've done 3, actually I need to update this. I've actually done 4 Talk to Me in Korean lessons this month. There we go. So 1 more and I'll be able to check this one off. I've done 2 How to Study Korean lessons and then not a bunch of other stuff. So a lot of this is probably going to end up getting migrated into August, which that's okay. You know, sometimes it goes that way. I have my reading goals, which I'm definitely doing better this month than I did last month. I'm already 6 books in and I'd like to do 8 books total. So I'm pretty close to actually finishing, which if I do, I'm going to try and read more just so that I can actually catch up to my reading challenge for 2018. So my reading challenge is for 80 books this year, and since we are in July, technically by the end of the month I should have read 40, and I think I'm at 35 right now. So 2 more would be awesome, 5 would be amazing. That would put me like back on track. Then I have my tracker. So this is actually going to change next week, and I'm gonna, or not next week, next month, and I will explain sort of how and why for all that, but things are kind of trucking along. I'm filling in most things fairly well. And then we have weeklies. So I still love this setup, but I have to say I kind of fell off the wagon with my focus section. I still am having the focus section and I'm trying to do better about it, but since it's summer and since I'm also taking time to rest and like just recharge and everything like that, I'm trying to be nice to myself about not finishing everything every single week. It's kind of hard, but we're working on it. The language tracker has been pretty good actually. Oh, got a little K-drama lines spread in there. So this one, now that I've added in to track lessons, I don't have a full like solid completed, I don't have a fully completed tracker. Well, I have not yet had a fully completed tracker. It might happen. But I don't always study these lessons every single day. I always do my memorize and I do my other stuff, but the lessons are not something that I actually have gotten up to the point where I'm doing them every single day, just because some days I have other things that I really need to do that take up time, and so I don't have time to do it. Otherwise, definitely a lot of migrated tasks from last week. I actually was able to finish a lot of the tasks in my dailies, but overall I had a lot that I just didn't quite get to, or that I partially got to, if you will. So this is for this week, and you'll see that I have, my dailies are pretty empty for the moment just because I don't have a lot of things that I already know I specifically want to do. Basically, my goal is to try and work through these tasks and do as many of my focus tasks as I can. So yeah, I'm kind of leaving this blank until I see how things go this week. I do have a couple of tasks from yesterday that I still need to work on that I've actually checked off 1 or 2 of them today. So even though technically they were done today, I'm still leaving them on here just so I don't have to migrate them. And yep, working on my tracker still, upcoming week. So this is another section that in the summer I don't use quite as frequently because I don't tend to have a lot of things that I know about in advance that are coming up. So I keep it there because it's useful, but it just doesn't get as much use in the summer. So then I have set up the bare bones of next week because I wanted to make sure I had enough room and I didn't forget a page, because sometimes I will do that if I'm like counting things out and I just have a brain fart and I forget something. So I've got this, so I still have to do all my headers and I'll add in some stickers and that kind of stuff, but I have next week all set up. Then I have this trip planning set of spreads, which I actually will be having a video about. I think that it's actually going to go live after my plan with me, so you guys will see me doing this probably in another week or two. So I've got my trip spread and my trip related brain dumps. And then I will be getting into August. So I am at page 202, and that means I've got a little bit over 40 pages left. So I definitely have enough room for August. Not sure I'll have enough room for September in here, but we shall see. So August, what's gonna happen? First thing, I'm definitely not going to do a watercolor month because it's just going to be a lot faster for me if I use markers. So I've decided that since I have not done any purple this year, and since violet / purple / lavender was one of the probably, I think it was the most frequently requested color when I put the call out for last month, that I am actually going to do purple this month. So let me go ahead, I'll show you guys this, and I'm gonna pull out my pre-planning. So my goal for August. First off, my color scheme is going to be this violet. So I'm going to use the 603 as my main color. And then you guys know I always like to have sort of two colors in the same family to do different variants and whatnot. So I'm going to use this N60, which is kind of like a purpley gray. And I've also got this Statler, which, let's take a look. So it's a bit of like a pinker purple, but I feel like it'll work. So these are going to be my colors, and I decided that since I technically study 2 languages right now, I study Korean and Italian, it was probably about time that I did a monthly in Italian. And I was looking back through my old bullet journals because I knew that I had done one before, and I had looked up the vocabulary for certain parts of my monthly spread, and it just so happens that I did August in Italian in 2017, which hadn't planned on that, but kind of funny. Anyway, so for August, I am going to do as much as I can in Italian. I think that for my tracker, I'm going to leave it in English just because I'm kind of lazy. I do it when I do it in Korean as well. So I have a quote that I've picked out. I will link the website where I found this quote. I just typed in like Italian proverbs, and I found one that I really liked. So this one is about family. It's basically like home is where the heart is. And I thought that was a nice quote because I'm going to visit family in end of July, beginning of August. So I want to have that in there. Then I'll have basically my intro page. So with August 2018, I will have my monthly and my upcoming month as normal. I will also have my goals for August, followed by reading. So those are going to stay exactly as is. The one that's going to change is going to be my tracker. So one of the biggest changes I'm going to make is that I'm going to drop my money tracker for right now. I've been keeping the same goals basically month to month, and I'm ready for a little bit of a change. So since I recently started trying to exercise and like get back into running a little bit, I put my step count tracker back on my tracker for July. So let me go ahead and show you guys. Let's see, so here. So I went back through and added in the step tracker as well as stretching and toning. So for example, if I have the B here, this means that I went to my exercise class. A dot just means I did stretching at home. A little R in the top right corner means I went for a run, and then I just keep track of my overall steps. Now I basically kind of round to the nearest whole number or like whole fraction, so I don't get super precise, but I kind of like having this. So what I decided to do is for August, I'm going to drop this section and instead use this as a graph so that I can see kind of an overall trend of how much exercise I'm getting. Because seeing this on here, I can like physically go through and say, okay, yeah, like I see that I normally get at least 3,000 steps if I leave my house or something like that. But I want to see if seeing it visually helps me either do more steps in general, helps me reach higher, like a higher step count, or if it just kind of helps me see, oh, on these certain days, I really don't exercise that much. What can I do to make it so that I leave the house that day, or, you know, what have you. So that is my goal for August. Otherwise, I'm keeping pretty much the same tracking things. I am also, I just remembered, I am going to drop morning pages because I have a pretty like solid morning routine right now, and morning pages just is not fitting into that in terms of like how long it's taking me to get through things. So rather than having a completely empty column, because I have not done any morning pages at all in July, I'm just going to drop it for the time being, and hopefully at some point I will come back to it. So we'll see. So that is my plan for August. I am going to go ahead and actually, first things first, I'm going to take my notebook out of here just because since I'm getting near the end, I find that I think it'll be a little bit easier for me to write in if I just have it flat on the table, and I think it'll be easier for me to get it in frame for you guys. So I'm gonna flip back to my first page. So I will go ahead and time lapse you guys, and I'll come back at the end and we'll see how everything went. So that is August. One of the other reasons why I wanted to do August in Italian is because I did also want to keep up a little bit of lettering practice. So I decided to pick something that I could do in a Roman alphabet. I attempted to center this quote a little bit, and given that I didn't actually measure, I'm not sad with how it came out. It's pretty much freehanded. So I just did kind of a simple bouncy lettering style for this intro page. And then I have my standard monthly calendar and upcoming month. I wanted to actually letter August here. However, I just didn't have enough space, so that's why I went with block letters for both of those. Then I have my tracking, which I will fill in once we get closer to the end of July. I have my reading goals. So I have my goal and whether or not I reached my goal. So I will then just fill in the books that I am working on and the books that I have finished down here. So the biggest change is definitely in tracking. In terms of actual things that I'm tracking, it hasn't changed very much from this month to last month. Like I mentioned, I really just dropped the morning pages. So I have kept steps on here, so I'm going to actually write in the amount of steps. And the reason for doing that is just that I can then go back and fill in the graph when I have time. I don't necessarily have to do it right that day, but I can see how many steps I actually have here. And then what I'm planning to do is fill in this graph. So I gave myself on this left side, I have the number of steps, so from 0 to 12,000. I don't normally go more than 12,000. If I do, I'll just do something kind of off in like the ether over here. But given that 10,000 is kind of the main goal and that I'm usually anywhere between like 3 and 6, I should have plenty of room in here. And then I've got the days down at the bottom. So my goal is to just see if I can see trends in how many steps I have and whatnot. I also did separate, so in July I had a little R in the top right hand corner of my step section, and now I've just given it its own box so that I don't have to write quite as small, so I don't have to squish it in quite so much. But that is basically August. It's really simple this time around. I will go ahead and I'm gonna wait to set up my next weekly. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. So I'm going to leave this as is for now. The one thing I want to show you guys before I let you go is in my language journal. So with this, okay. So in here, I'll show you what I've got so far for July. So you can see that I have done some of my activities today already. I've got a couple more that I'm still going to work on. So I thought I'd just do a quick flip through of July so far. I have my journaling as usual. And I started an Italian study tracker basically. So I have the memorized course that I'm doing for Italian. This is already filled in because for some reason 2, 4, and 6 were not levels that existed in this. So there are 16 levels, but it basically went 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, and like all the way through the end. So I don't know what happened with that. So I just pre-filled that in so that I wouldn't get confused when I was looking at it. And then I also have the number of units for the textbook I'm actually using to study Italian. Now, what I'm not sure is I have left this page blank, and I originally had thought that I would just keep using it for Italian. However, I think I'm actually going to need it for Korean first because I'm kind of getting closer to the end on book 2 of the Talk to Me in Korean Memorize course, and I'm about halfway through level 2, so I have a feeling that I'll be closer to needing a new tracker for Korean than I will to filling up this section for Italian. So I'm just going to leave this blank until I figure that out. Then I have my current journaling page, so I can fit 1 or 2 more days in here. I have my current Italian journaling page, and since it is only halfway through the month, I decided that, and since I'm also so close to the end here, I think what I'm going to do is wait until I at least start a new Korean journaling page before I actually set up August. Now, I had thought that I would do this on camera for you guys, but I think I'm just going to let you go and keep this to be a little bit of a shorter plan with me, but I'm going to set it up exactly the same way as I did for July, so it's not going to be anything new or fancy, but just wanted to show you guys how July went in here, and I mean, I still got some more to do, but I am keeping up with my streak, which I'm pretty pleased with. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys are getting excited for August. I know I am. It's my last full month of vacation, but then the school year starts again, which I'm already kind of excited about. So I'm really curious to see how it goes doing August in Italian, because I've been doing my weeklies in Korean for so long that I think that's going to be a pretty hard habit to break, but I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to actually try and do my weeklies in Italian as well. So if you guys have any comments or questions, as always, please leave them down below. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and or subscribing to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!